So here are the top 5 reasons why I really like Cedar Park. So I've lived in Cedar Park for a few years now, and I can say generally that I have a fairly decent understanding. It's not like I lived here for a couple decades, but I lived here long enough to know what I like and what I don't like. So let's start with number 1. This one is going to be a little bit... this one's going to be interesting because depending on whose perspective, you're going to get different answers. This one's arguable, but I think the traffic in Cedar Park is reasonable, and I like that. And I'll be putting up a map here. You guys can take a look. The difference between Cedar Park and some other places, traffic-wise, is that you'll find that the closer you are to the 35, you got a lot more congestion. You got a lot more of a higher population, and so Cedar Park, as you can see, is off in a distance away from the 35. Though the population of Cedar Park is still semi-heavy, and it's also growing. The traffic isn't as bad as the 35. So in comparison, I'm grateful for having a city that has a reasonable population while at the same time not as hectic. And this is a subjective topic, I understand, simply because somebody who comes from an environment who doesn't have that much traffic may think the traffic is just too much here. And I understand that. That's reasonable. While somebody like me who comes from a different environment where traffic is wild, I don't find it to be so bad. It's okay. So it's reasonable, right? It's reasonable. Reason number 2 is, this is going to sound strange, but it's a semi-quiet place. Again, take a look at the map here. The closer you are to the 35, or maybe closer to down south Austin, you get a bigger population, and you get a lot more noise. You got a lot more traffic. You got a lot more people. So you can see here, Cedar Park is tucked away in the north, a little bit off to the side, and I appreciate that because though the population is growing, often at times it can be quiet. There's a lot of quietness that is to like about this part of here. And then as you go a little bit more north into Leander and you go up to Liberty Hill, it gets even more quiet. But it's nice. Where I'm from, we wouldn't go a day without hearing sirens or or honking or just like a lot of commotion. And so here I don't hear that much. And it's nice. It's nice to hear that. But it also depends on what part of Cedar Park. If you live closer to the main roads, you're probably going to hear it all the time. I personally don't. It's one of the things I appreciate about Cedar Park. Number 3, this is also my opinion, but I find Cedar Park to be a little bit more clean than other parts of Austin. I created a drive around video of Cedar Park. You can kind of see that generally the streets are clean, or depending on where you're from, but I found it clean. And it's nice. It's nice to have that where there's not trash everywhere. And so I appreciate that. The neighbors here care about their homes. Now I haven't been to all the parts of Austin, or to Cedar Park, so there are probably some pockets that aren't clean, but I haven't seen them. But for the pockets that I've experienced, I think it's a clean place. This is a fun one. This is one that I found surprising. This is number 4. I found that everything I need generally is going to be close to or on Whit Stone. So for those who are from Cedar Park, they already know there's a street. It's a business street. It's really busy, called Whit Stone, and there's a lot of businesses there. A lot. But it's really cool because whenever I had like my medical procedures, I had my heart problems, and so when I had to get work done, the medical facilities were either on or close to Whit Stone. I had some other procedures done when I had my wisdom teeth pulled. Again, Whit Stone. There's lots of food on Whit Stone. There's a big variety of places to eat. There's a variety of places to shop. Whit Stone, it just has almost everything that you could possibly want. And I enjoyed that because when I look for something, I go to the internet, I Google it, and there's a place that's nearby, and what do you know? It's either on or close to White Stone, and being familiar with that, it just makes life much easier. Even my children, some of their recreational activities, they have a lot of facilities for these recreational activities close to or on Whitestone. All of it is relative, and it's nice to know that I don't have to drive 20-30 minutes for everything. It's a very few selective things that I gotta go drive for. So I appreciate that. Whitestone, if you guys ever get a chance, just drive down it. If you've never been to Cedar Park before, I would suggest you probably just drive up and down in Whitestone, see what kind of business is there, and you have a really good idea of what's available to you. And so for the very last one, this one is just my personal opinion. Again, I come from a much more active place, but I found that Cedar Park is a very chill place. Now, what does that mean, chill, right? So if you go to downtown Austin, and you're trying to get around there, it's very busy. It's a very busy place. There's a lot of business going on. It's very, very busy. There's a lot of running around. You pretty much, once you get in and get done whatever you want to do, you just want to get out. You don't really want to hang out there unless you have to. And so I know, I get it. Some people who've been here would probably say, like, are you serious? The population of Cedar Park is growing so much. It's very not chill. It's very crazy. It's very wild. And yes, it can be that way, depending upon which parts. But I'm speaking mostly about, certain areas that are just calmer. There are calm parts of Cedar Park. So basically, as the population grows, yeah, it may be less and less chill, but nonetheless, it goes hand in hand with the quietness. If you're on Whitestone, well, it's not going to feel so chill, but it just depends on the time of day and which part. But there's a good portion of Cedar Park that is just relaxed. And so I'm kind of scrunching two things together here, chill, and the next one is going to be family oriented. I'm going to make them both into one. I'm not going to make the number 6 because I feel like they're both similar in such ways, is that if I were to try to raise my family down south in Austin, closer to downtown, I would find that to be way too hectic, way too chaotic for me to try to deal with. So I find that Cedar Park is just a relaxed place that is really good to raise a family. You don't have to deal with the rat race that other parts of Austin you have to deal with. And I do appreciate that. I mean, Cedar Park is filled with parks, a lot of parks and splash pads, and there's a lot of things for families to do. And I appreciate that. It's not going to be difficult for you to figure out what to do with your family here in Cedar Park, and if there's any kind of events that you want to take them to, or any kind of recreations that you want to put them into, Cedar Park is a great place for that. So that's the number 5. So just to go over it again, really quick, my top 5 things that I really like about Cedar Park. Number 1, the traffic is reasonable. I mean, it could be worse. It's not the 35. It's reasonable. Depending on time of day, it's reasonable. The second part that I like is I like that it's a quiet part of Austin. It's a semi-quiet. It's not connected to the 35 again. So you don't have to deal with all the noise that you get with a higher population, even though this is growing. Third one is I find it clean. I find it cleaner than other places of Austin that I've been to. I don't want to, bring those up, but I find it to be a fairly clean place. Number 4 is everything I need, or most of the things I need, are close to or on Whitestone. I appreciate that. It's kind of like a central part of Austin. If you need something, it's probably around there. And then the number 5 is going to be, I find it a really chill place that is easy to raise a family. So if you guys have any questions about real estate, if you guys want to know anything else or just talk, I'm here to help. My name is Lawrence. If this has provided any value, then please provide a like and a subscribe. I've put my contact information below, and I'd love to help. Thanks.